They called her Kira of the Broken Sky, though to most, she was just the no-hands freak. Born without arms on the alien world of Veli's Prime, Kira had grown used to the sneers, the laughter, and the cruel curiosity that followed her every move. In a society that prized physical perfection, where even minor flaws were corrected by genetic engineering, she was an anomaly, a glitch in the galaxy's most advanced species. Her kind, the Valerians, were tall, elegant beings with luminescent skin and gossamer wings. Their technology rivaled anything humanity had ever achieved. But compassion, that was something they had long forgotten. And so, Kira lived on the edges of their floating cities, scavenging spare parts and broken machines from the scrapyards that hung beneath the sky towers. She could manipulate objects with her feet, and with enough practice, she had learned to repair small drones using her mouth and toes, a miracle of persistence more than skill. But still, every time she entered the market, she heard it. Look, the no-hands freak is watching again. Why doesn't she just deactivate herself? She's useless. She should have been terminated at birth. Their laughter was a symphony of cruelty. Until one day, a human heard it. And that changed everything. Part 1: The Arrival of the Human. The human's name was Eli Carver, a mechanic from the outer colonies. He'd come to Veli's Prime seeking work in the orbital docks, a rare thing, since humans were often considered primitive by Valerian standards. He stood out instantly, rough hands, grease-stained jacket, and a tired but defiant look in his eyes. Most Valerians ignored him. Others mocked his accent or his clumsy manners. But Eli didn't care. He'd grown up fixing derelict ships in the asteroid belts. He was used to being the outsider. One evening, after a long shift repairing gliders, Eli wandered down to the scrapyard below the city. There, beneath the shimmering underbelly of the floating towers, he saw a young Valerian girl trying to repair a drone with her feet. He watched silently for a moment. Her movements were careful, determined. Sweat glistened on her silver-blue skin. The drone sparked, fizzled, and then powered on. Eli couldn't help but whistle softly. That's some damn fine work. Startled, Kira turned sharply, eyes wide. Don't mock me, she snapped. He held up his hands. Not mocking. Just impressed. No one's impressed by a cripple. Eli frowned. They should be. I've seen trained engineers mess up what you just did. Her suspicion softened just a little. You're human, aren't you? Last time I checked. He grinned. Name's Eli. Mechanic. You. Kira, she said quietly. Unwanted. Something in her tone hit him deep. He'd been unwanted once too, abandoned after a war that left humanity scattered across the stars. He looked at the drone, then at her. Mind if I help you fix it up properly? Kira blinked. You'd help me? Sure. Why not? And that was how it began, two outcasts, one human and one alien, fixing broken machines in the forgotten corners of the most advanced world in the galaxy. Part 2: Building Trust. Days turned into weeks. Eli and Kira became a strange team. He taught her how to rewire ancient circuits, how to fuse metal without warping it. She, in turn, showed him how Valerian energy conduits worked, technology far beyond anything he'd seen. At first, Kira was cautious. She had been mocked too often to trust easily. But Eli never laughed at her. When her toes fumbled or her tools slipped, he'd just hand her another wrench and say, try again. You've got this. And she always did. One night, as they sat beneath the glowing hulls of floating towers, Kira asked softly, why are you helping me? Eli looked up at the stars. Because I know what it's like to be broken and left behind. Kira tilted her head. Broken. He nodded. I fought in the Rift Wars. Lost everyone. Lost my home. You start believing the universe doesn't have a place for you. But then, you find one. He glanced at her with a faint smile. Or build it. Kira looked down at her empty shoulders. You can't build what's missing. Eli studied her silently. Wanna bet? Part 3, The Project. Eli spent the next several nights sketching designs on scraps of metal. Cybernetic arms, lightweight, adaptable, powered by bioelectric resonance, something that could integrate with Valyrian physiology. Kira watched, astonished. You think you can make arms for me? I don't think, Eli said. I know. It was a monumental task. He scavenged parts from discarded drones and old hovercrafts. Kira helped by hacking the scrapyard's mainframe for spare energy cores. Together, they built a small workshop out of a derelict ship hull. Word spread fast. Did you hear? The no-hands freak found herself a pet human. He's building her toys. She'll fry herself before it even works. The mockery stung, but Kira refused to stop. Every night she pushed harder, watching as Eli assembled the prototype metal skeletons that would soon become her arms. One evening, she found Eli slumped over his bench, asleep. His fingers were burned, his eyes sunken with exhaustion. Kira gently brushed her wing against his shoulder. You don't have to do this, she whispered. He stirred and smiled weakly. Yeah, I do. Because when we're done, they'll never laugh at you again. Part 4, The First Flight. Weeks later, the arms were ready. Sleek, metallic, and laced with glowing blue veins that pulsed softly in the dark. Kira stared at them, trembling. They're beautiful. Eli nodded. They're yours. You'll need to sync with them, it might hurt. She stepped forward. The mechanical limbs attached to the neural ports near her shoulders. A flash of light surged through her body, and Kira gasped as pain and power collided. For the first time in her life, she felt whole. Slowly, she flexed the fingers, mechanical, yet graceful. The arms moved as if they had always been part of her. She reached out and touched Eli's arm. I can feel this, she whispered, astonished. Eli. I can feel. He grinned. Told you so. Outside, the sky towers gleamed, and when Kira stepped into the city the next morning, the laughter stopped. The same aliens who had mocked her stared in silence as she walked, her metallic arms shining like stars. She moved with purpose, with confidence. One young Valyrian sneered. So, the freak got herself human junk metal. Without hesitation, Kira turned, raised her hand, and activated a nearby terminal with a precise motion. The interface responded instantly. She typed a complex equation and projected it holographically before them, a display of advanced engineering even the highest technologists struggled to achieve. Then she looked at them coldly. This junk metal can do more than your perfect bodies ever could. The crowd went silent. And for the first time in her life, Kira smiled without fear. Part 5, The Price of Progress. But not everyone celebrated her triumph. The Valyrian Council saw her existence as a threat to biological sanctity. They summoned Eli and Kira to stand trial, accusing them of illegal augmentation and defiling natural order. Kira stood tall, her new arms gleaming. You abandoned me because I was different. You mocked me because I couldn't conform. And now that I've made myself whole, you fear me. The council's leader sneered. You're an aberration. The human has corrupted you. Eli stepped forward, anger flashing in his eyes. She's not corrupted, she's evolved. Maybe it's your pride that's the real disease here. The chamber fell silent.